really enjoyed running this splitter. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. My name is Joe, and we're with Tom at Fate Farms, PA, at his beautiful property. We shot another video where we bucked up all this wood with a STIHL 661. It's been a long time since I've run a 661, and so this saw here, it was good to get an idea of what it felt like. And so now that we've made a mess, I want to go ahead and try out his splitter and try to get some of it split up as well before it's dinner time. I'm going to let Tom talk about this splitter a little bit, and then we'll start running it.
So I bought this log splitter. I went to a Paul Bunyan show, and I seen some other channels like Outside with Shibe. Started out with a Rugged Made, so it made me inquire about this thing since other guys were using it. And it has the best bang for its buck, in my opinion. You know, it does say Rugged Made. It's pretty rugged. You know, there's nothing fancy about it, but it gets the job done. So it's a great splitter for your entry level log splitting, you know, setup or whatnot, or your do-it-yourself. As far as like a commercial grade, I think I would go to something a little bit more professional. But other than that, you have to be pretty mechanically inclined to purchase one of these, because when I purchased this about 3 years ago, it came on a pallet in multiple pieces. So that was one thing that I believe it took a couple hours to build it. So other than that, I've been very pleased with it. Had one problem with one of the control valves leaking, no questions asked. Reached out to Rugged Made, and they sent the parts immediately, no questions asked.
And so this has a Raven, was that a 15 horse engine or so, I'm guessing?
Yeah, at the time I actually bought this through COVID, and I wanted a Honda engine. They weren't available. So Raven, I did some research, is made by Suzuki, and it is a one pull wonder. You put the choke on and pull it. It does have the electric start option. Unfortunately, the batteries didn't make the winner, so I've been just pull starting it. One pull and it fires immediately. I also got it equipped with a log lift just to, you know, save your back. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of equipment that just prolongs, you know, working and, you know, saving your body, because at the end of the day, lifting all this stuff over and over definitely wears you out.
Some of the things that I noticed, because I'm not familiar with this machine, is, you know, that log lift, besides it being good on your back, it's also awesome just to have another place to set stuff. And also this outfeed table is pretty cool as well. So that way, you know, I really dislike it when wood's falling all over the ground. This also has a massive cylinder on it. That is a big, big cylinder.
Yeah, I believe the cycle on it, I believe it's around 9 seconds. It's definitely faster than the box store, but not as fast as some of the higher end ones.
Okay, and I noticed that he's also got a 4-way that slides over this, so it's as simple as just removing it if you don't want it on there. That's nice. Good sharp knife, and I think that's a good size. So something like this, that looks like a good candidate to just split into quarters, and you would leave them right like that and throw them right in the tow, right?
Yep.
Awesome. This is pretty exciting to split wood with another splitter. I just came off of the Bunyan show, and I actually met Tom for the first time in person at the Bunyan show. And so I just want to keep in mind that this splitter is an extremely large, powerful splitter.
Oh yeah.
And it's a good value. So it's going to be able to bust through the wood. It's not going to do it extremely fast, but I think with all these features, that's a pretty cool setup for the money.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
He's run a firewood stand with it.
Yeah.
And so it's a great way to heat your home potentially. So I just want to get an idea of what it feels like, and we'll let you know what I think at the end. Easy. Very, very easy. Well, that was 17 minutes of filming, and that was with the intro. So we have a very, very loosely thrown tote. We got some gaps in there. We could have probably thrown them in just a hair bit better, but we filled up a tote pretty quickly.
That's about a quarter of a cord. Normally for these loose thrown.
Okay.
Seems to equal out to be a full cord.
That's awesome. That's good to know. So yeah, so not quite a rick or a face cord, or what do they call it here?
So
for a
if
third
it's
of a cord.
A third of a cord is just a face cord here.
Okay, a face cord. Okay.
So if you stack this tight, they say in a tall one is a face cord. So loosely thrown, 4 of them is a full cord.
Okay.
3 tight is a full cord.
Okay.
Stacked.
Okay. That's really cool. I want to say that I actually really enjoyed running this splitter. This is a bunch of steps up from a box store, you know, $1,000, $1,500 splitter. This doesn't even compare. I can tell it's very stout. It is faster than I anticipated it would be. The 4-way I think is set up really well, especially if you like, you know, larger sized wood, which in snow country like we are here in Pittsburgh, people probably like larger wood because it makes a lot of sense.
Lasts longer.
Yeah.
They actually sell a 6-way. I have a 6-way for this.
Okay.
But it has to be a specific size. Anything bigger than 8-inch, then it kicks and walks.
Okay.
So an 8-inch log actually cuts perfectly small pieces, a little bit bigger than this.
Nice,
so
nice.
I
So
do
if you had
use
a
that.
bunch of firewood poles that were designated for it, you could really fly through it. And this is nice too, this texture here on the ram. Another thing is you got a nice stable beefy foot there. That's pretty cool. This table's handy. I think that Tom made a great decision when he purchased this machine, because for the money, you know, it's certainly a lot less than some of the bigger commercial units, but it has a lot of features that I think would be really good for the average homeowner that needs to heat with wood, or even have a small business. You could absolutely run a business with this.
Something like this in an Easton made is over 10,000 all day long. The only thing that's nice is they have an adjustable wedge, but you know, 5,000 versus 10,000 at the time. You know, don't quote me on those numbers now. I'm not sure where they're at, but it's a big difference.
Yeah, and something to also think about too is oftentimes machines are faster, but because they're faster, oftentimes they do lose some shear power. And so if you have really nasty, difficult wood, sometimes it makes sense to have a little bit of a slower machine. And a lot of times the lesser expensive machines forego speed for power. Tom, thanks for letting me run this machine with you. We got some of your firewood split up after we made this mess. If you haven't checked out my 661 video that I shot with Tom as he handed me firewood poles with that beautiful Yanmar mini excavator over there, you said that was a 12,000 pound machine?
Yeah, it's about 12,000.
Okay, and that made it super, super handy. We're just here visiting after the Bunyan show. Thank you for watching the Okie Woodsman channel. Don't forget to check out Fate Farms PA. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.
Ha ha ha.